exploring the reasons behind the American work culture and why Americans work so much. Part 1. The historical roots. The United States is known for its strong work ethic, and Americans are often stereotyped as being workaholics. But where did this culture of hard work and long hours come from? To understand the reasons behind the American work ethic, it's essential to look at the country's history. The early American colonies were founded by people seeking freedom, opportunity, and a better life. Many of these colonists were farmers, traders, and craftsmen who worked hard to build their new lives. The Protestant work ethic, which emphasized the importance of hard work and self-reliance, played a significant role in shaping the American work culture. According to this ethic, hard work was not only a means of survival but also a moral virtue. As the United States grew and industrialized, the nature of work changed. Factories and machines replaced farms and craftsmen, and people moved from rural areas to cities for work. The Industrial Revolution brought about new forms of exploitation, with workers facing long hours, low wages, and poor working conditions. However, it also created new opportunities for employment and social mobility. The rise of capitalism in the United States further reinforced the importance of hard work and productivity. The pursuit of profit and growth became the driving force behind the American economy, and businesses that succeeded were those that could produce goods and services efficiently and effectively. This created a culture of competition, where individuals and companies were pitted against each other in a struggle for success. The American dream, which promises success and prosperity to those who work hard enough, also played a significant role in shaping the country's work culture. The idea that anyone can achieve greatness through hard work and determination has been a powerful motivator for Americans, encouraging them to push themselves to succeed. In the early 20th century, Henry Ford's $5 day wage and the 40-hour workweek became a benchmark for American workers. However, this standard was not universally adopted, and many workers continued to work long hours for low wages. The Great Depression and World War II further reinforced the importance of hard work and sacrifice as Americans came together to overcome economic and national crises. In the post-war period, the United States experienced unprecedented economic growth and prosperity. The GI Bill and other government programs helped veterans and citizens access education, housing, and other benefits, creating a large and prosperous middle class. However, this prosperity also created new expectations and pressures as Americans felt compelled to work hard to maintain their standard of living. The 1970s and 1980s saw a significant shift in the American work culture as globalization and technological changes transformed the economy. Companies began to prioritize shareholder value and profit over other considerations, leading to downsizing, outsourcing, and the erosion of job security. This created a culture of insecurity where workers felt compelled to work long hours and sacrifice their personal lives to keep their jobs. The rise of the gig economy and precarious work further reinforced this culture of overwork. With the decline of unionization and collective bargaining, workers had less power to negotiate for better wages, benefits, and working conditions. Instead, they were forced to adapt to the demands of their employers, often working long hours for low pay and few benefits. Today, the United States has one of the highest rates of overwork among developed countries. Americans work longer hours than their counterparts in other wealthy countries, and many report feeling burned out, stressed, and overwhelmed. The culture of overwork has become so entrenched that many Americans feel guilty or anxious when they are not working, as if their worth and identity are tied to their job. The historical roots of the American work culture have created a perfect storm of overwork and burnout. The emphasis on hard work and productivity, combined with the pressures of capitalism and the gig economy, has led to a culture where Americans feel compelled to work long hours, sacrifice their personal lives, and prioritize their job above all else. As we explore the reasons behind the American work culture, it becomes clear that the issue is complex and multifaceted. The country's history, economy, and cultural values have all contributed to a culture of overwork where Americans feel pressured to work long hours and prioritize their job above all else. Part 2. The role of technology and modern work culture. The rise of technology has transformed the way Americans work and live. On the one hand, technology has increased productivity and flexibility, allowing workers to work from anywhere and at any time. On the other hand, it has also created new pressures and expectations, blurring the boundaries between work and personal life. The widespread adoption of smartphones, laptops, and other digital devices has enabled workers to stay connected to their job 24/7. Email, instant messaging, and project management tools have made it possible for workers to receive and respond to work-related messages at any time, regardless of their location or work hours. This has created a culture of constant availability where workers feel compelled to check their email and respond to messages even when they are not working. The rise of remote work has further reinforced this culture of constant availability. With the shift to remote work, many employees feel pressure to prove themselves and demonstrate their productivity, often by working longer hours or being constantly available. This has created a culture of overwork and burnout where workers feel compelled to sacrifice their personal lives and well-being to meet the demands of their job. Modern work culture has also created new expectations and pressures around productivity and performance. The rise of performance management tools and metrics has enabled companies to track worker productivity and performance in real time, creating a culture of competition and surveillance. Workers are often pitted against each other with their performance measured and compared to their colleagues. This has created a culture of stress and anxiety where workers feel compelled to perform at a high level at all times. The emphasis on productivity and performance has also led to a culture of presenteeism, where workers feel compelled to be present in the office or at their desk for long hours, regardless of whether they are productive or not. This has created a culture of busyness, where workers prioritize being seen to be working over actual productivity. The cult of busyness has become a defining feature of modern work culture. Workers who are busy and overworked are often seen as dedicated and committed, while those who prioritize their personal lives or take time off are often viewed as lazy or unmotivated. This has created a culture where workers feel compelled to prioritize their job above all else, sacrificing their personal lives and well-being in the process. The role of technology and modern work culture in reinforcing the culture of overwork cannot be overstated. The constant availability, pressure to perform, and emphasis on productivity have created a perfect storm of overwork and burnout. Workers are expected to be constantly available, productive, and performing at a high level with little regard for their personal lives or well-being. In addition to technology and modern work culture, other factors contribute to the culture of overwork in the United States. The lack of federal laws regulating work hours, paid vacation time, and sick leave has created a patchwork of policies and practices that often prioritize employer interests over worker well-being. Many workers are forced to work long hours without adequate compensation or benefits, further reinforcing the culture of overwork. The cultural values of the United States also play a significant role in reinforcing the culture of overwork. The emphasis on individualism, competition, and achievement has created a culture where workers are pitted against each other and feel compelled to work hard to succeed. The American dream, which promises success and prosperity to those who work hard enough, has become a powerful motivator for workers, encouraging them to push themselves to succeed even if it means sacrificing their personal lives and well-being. Part 3. The consequences and potential solutions. The culture of overwork in the United States has severe consequences for workers, their families, and society as a whole. Burnout, stress, and anxiety are widespread, with many workers reporting feeling exhausted, depleted, and disconnected from their work and personal lives. The long hours and lack of work-life balance have also contributed to a decline in physical and mental health, with workers experiencing higher rates of obesity, diabetes, and depression. The consequences of overwork also extend beyond individual workers to their families and communities. The lack of quality time with family and friends has led to a decline in social connections and community engagement. Children suffer when their parents are overworked and stressed, leading to a range of negative outcomes, including behavioral problems, lower academic achievement, and decreased emotional well-being. Furthermore, the culture of overwork has significant economic costs. Lost productivity, absenteeism, and turnover are just a few of the consequences of overwork, costing the U.S. economy billions of dollars each year. The healthcare costs associated with overwork, including mental health issues and chronic diseases, are also substantial. So, what can be done to address the culture of overwork in the United States? One potential solution is to implement policies and practices that prioritize worker well-being and work-life balance. This could include federal laws regulating work hours, paid vacation time, and sick leave, as well as employer-provided benefits such as flexible work arrangements, telecommuting options, and employee wellness programs. Another potential solution is to challenge the cultural values that prioritize work above all else. By valuing work-life balance, leisure time, and personal well-being, Americans can begin to shift the cultural narrative around work and create a more sustainable and equitable work culture. This could involve promoting flexible work arrangements, encouraging workers to take time off, and celebrating workers who prioritize their personal lives and well-being. Companies can also play a significant role in addressing the culture of overwork. By prioritizing worker well-being, providing benefits and support, and promoting work-life balance, companies can help reduce the pressures and expectations that contribute to overwork. This could involve implementing employee wellness programs, providing mental health support, and encouraging workers to take time off and prioritize their personal lives. Individuals can also take steps to address the culture of overwork. By prioritizing their personal lives and well-being, setting boundaries around work hours, and seeking support from family, friends, and colleagues, workers can begin to reclaim their lives and create a more sustainable work culture. Ultimately, addressing the culture of overwork in the United States will require a multifaceted approach that involves policymakers, employers, and individuals. By working together to prioritize worker well-being, promote work-life balance, and challenge the cultural values that drive overwork, Americans can create a more equitable and sustainable work culture that benefits everyone. The story of why Americans work so much is complex and multifaceted, driven by historical, cultural, and economic factors. However, by understanding the root causes of overwork and working together to address them, Americans can create a better work culture that prioritizes worker well-being, promotes work-life balance, and supports the health and happiness of workers and their families.